well before.
I thought you were going to say they need to have no memory, but remember the good part, forget the bad.
I like that even better.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And they can't get the long connection as it falls incomplete. He was looking for his big tight end there, Jesse James. CD, wanted to get your thoughts just on the landscape of the offseason for each of these teams. Super Bowl in the rearview mirror, but so much going on. People look at the draft a lot. But there's a lot more that goes into the offseason for these front offices, is there not?
It certainly is, and then even before we get to the draft, you start with the combine, that's held in Indianapolis every year, and you have about 350 of the top prospects coming together to get their physicals and interviews and on-field performance, and all that will get evaluated along with their game tape. And then you've got the free agents, all right? That starts, I believe, in early March, where now the free agents can start moving around to different teams, so your team's starting to take a little bit of shape there, free agency, because then the draft's coming up. You're trying to put your team together with new draft picks, have everyone start to move in one direction, and then you have the OTAs and minicamps. We get to see them on the field for the first time, and we start to get a better idea of how these teams are going to look when the fall begins.
In 12 regular season games this last year for Bell, averaging over 150 yards from scrimmage. First two games in the playoffs were great, but, getting injured in the final game probably leaves a bad taste in his mouth.
Leaves a bad taste, gives him fuel for the next season, though, because remember, for the last few years, he hasn't been able to play a full season for various reasons. Now, going into next year, imagine those numbers over a 16-game season, and heading into the playoffs, Le'Veon Bell can set new records.
And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked down at about the 3-yard line. And as the Cleveland Browns come back out onto the field, they'll get going again on offense here in a second. But 1-15 this last year. And it's a franchise that, since moving back to Cleveland in '99, has only been to the playoffs one time.
Hard to believe, right? Just 2 winning seasons in that time
only 2.
Well, but I think there's optimism to be had here in Cleveland. I think that the fans, it's tough for them to see it after another 1-15 season, but I think that they have a plan in place to move this franchise forward. Ownership, front office, head coach, all in lockstep together, with a vision and a plan that they intend to execute.
Now Griffin on second down. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he'll get it up to the 12-yard line here. It's a gain of 5. And that is going to set up a 3rd and 1. Offense just a yard away from the line they need to gain. 3rd down. 1:59 to go in the first half. Back to Heinz Field after this. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll check in with Larry Ridley for highlights and analysis of our first half of play. Well, not too many highlights yet, at least in terms of scoring plays, that is.
Yeah, but hang in there. We might get something these last 2 minutes.
Offside. Defense. Automatic first down.
So here we go, 1st and 10 now. On 1st down, Griffin. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete. Well, you mind if we go off topic for a second?
No, let's go.
I like to do that randomly. AFC playoff contenders for this year that didn't make it last season. Who do you have that might get in?
Well, I think Cincinnati's got to be considered there. Maybe they'd have an offseason that's calm, and they go into this season and try and get back to the playoffs where they've been perennials. How about Denver?
Yeah.
Remember last year, they didn't have the quarterback to start. Trevor Siemian played pretty well overall, but maybe they can get solidified there and ride that strong defense right back into the playoffs. I'm going to give you a couple a little bit off the pace. Indianapolis cannot afford to squander Andrew Luck, one of the better young quarterbacks in the game. They've got to get back to the playoffs. And Buffalo, brand new head coach.
Now look out, Griffin hit, and he gets the football. It's loose.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. Now, whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So as they take it over, we step aside. Final play of the half. It's Griffin. And incomplete on the deep ball. So plenty of action on the field, but no action right now on the scoreboard, at least as of yet. 0-0 is our score. As we'll send you down to Orlando where... Yeah, that's perfect. 2, Davis, deep.